Hello friends, and welcome to another video. This week, I'm going to be testing out some TikTok viral cleaning products. Pay no attention to the robot cleaning the window. Now, TikTok is a pretty crazy place. Beyond being the home of the hamster rave, the year-long cruise, and founding father bachelorette parties, it also has a very adaptive algorithm that, with the flick of a finger, can funnel you into different silos of content on the platform, like cat talk, loader talk, head spa talk, croissant talk, Edgar Allan Poe talk, etc., etc. And as some of you guys might know, I watch a lot of content. When it can be theoretically excused as part of my job, it's very easy to hop down a rabbit hole of Bridgerton memes or SpongeBob cosplays, and a talk that I've fallen in and out of over the past couple of years, actually, is this bizarre smart home ASMR cleaning talk, which is a genre of videos, sometimes with characters and narratives and sometimes not, where the protagonist goes around their highly organized apartment and uses very niche specific smart devices to clean every nook and cranny. This is an offshoot from just normal clean talk. There are, of course, cleaning products that go viral just generally on TikTok, but the videos we're talking about here are like home optimizing thousands of tiny packages ASMR cleaning talk. And I find these videos to be absolutely mesmerizing. Not only do I enjoy the clicking and clacking of the ASMR elements, but I'm also always enthralled by what gadget they're gonna pull out next, because it's always something I've never even thought of before. It's a shoe dryer, a toothpaste dispenser, a crab disinfector, a window Roomba. And after a while, I realized I wasn't the only person on this side of TikTok.
She's taking the batteries out the door so we can't get back in. And now she's going on Amazon. And
it could be my civic duty as a YouTuber to investigate this phenomenon as best as I can.
Okay, now that is brilliant. What the hell does that do? It's a washing machine?
And see if I can actually track down some of these gadgets and test them out, to see if they're really as satisfying as they seem, or if they even do anything at all. Alright, so I think it's time to get us some cleaning products and clean, before TikTok gets banned for good. But before we head off, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, who helps keep my tabs and workspaces clean, Opera, the faster, safer, and smarter internet browser that you should probably try. Now, I've been using Opera for a little while now, and I honestly really like it. There are a lot of cool features that Opera has that make me feel like I'm operating a little control room on my computer. And since I do almost all of my work on this laptop, from writing to researching to editing, I can honestly say I feel more productive and organized using Opera. As one of the leading tab openers in the world, I love Opera's Tab Island feature, which groups together similar tabs and allows you to collapse and expand them. And also their Workspace feature, which allows you to have multiple different windows that you can flip between. Like, this is my TikTok cleaning products workspace, this is my laser hair regrowth helmet workspace, this is my Sixers merch workspace, RIP Tyler, and Opera also helps optimize your internet experience with widgets like a built-in VPN, an ad blocker, music apps, and floating YouTube videos, as well as Opera's own built-in AI tool, Aria, which can be a great resource to start your research from. Because not only can you ask Aria questions directly, you can also highlight any term you see online and ask Aria what it means. And it turns out, Aria also thinks it's a good idea to disinfect your crabs, or at least wash them. The more you know. So if you want to support our channel and check out Opera, it's totally free. Just use my link in the description below to download Opera today. So with that, thanks again to Opera, and now, back to cleaning. Now, I've been seeing these ASMR cleaning videos on TikTok for at least a couple of years, and it's taken us about 6 months to track down, order, receive, and test some of these gadgets, so admittedly, we may be a bit late to the trend here, but having spent the past few months screen recording and gathering these videos, I can confirm that there is a lot to unpack here. Like, there are a lot of tropes that the genre has, which I find very intriguing. First off, a lot of these videos do have some kind of narrative that they start off with, at least, I guess to try and explain why you would need to go on a cleaning spree. For example, the protagonist might be sitting around eating sunflower seeds, and bam, her rich mother-in-law is unexpectedly outside, and she's about to come upstairs, and the apartment better be clean by the time she gets there. Or the protagonist is very angry at her spouse for whatever reason. Maybe she found his ex's hair on him using a lint roller, and so to get back at him, she spends a bunch of money and orders a ton of cleaning gadgets, which she then opens and uses to clean their apartment. Or the protagonist secretly has ordered a bunch of packages and doesn't want her spouse to know about it, so she has to cut off a piece of her hair, sneak out of bed, and open the packages and clean the apartment in the dead of night. I think this is an angry mother-in-law watching disapprovingly. A lot of these videos are also framed as just simple nighttime or morning routines, like a simple, this is what I do when I get home from work to unwind, unbox 1,000 packages, clean, cook, use a foot bath, etc. But even in these simple routine videos, there are often absurd details included to catch the viewer's attention and drive comments and engagement. For example, sometimes it's snowing in the hallway of the protagonist's apartment building, or a rat runs across the screen, or there's money in the washing machine, or say the protagonist is a slender lady, but for a quick shot, her leg becomes a hairy man's leg. Top comment on that video? Leg, hook, line, and sinker. So they use almost 5-minute crafty methods of seduction to really lure you into their optimized cleaning world. But after watching, at this point, dozens of these videos, my next questions were, who is making these videos and why? And also, how do I buy any of these things? Now, we did find these videos posted across many accounts on TikTok, and although there are a few repeat offenders, like Doyen House, Even Home, Household Goodies 5, amongst others, that doesn't make it super clear who exactly is making these videos and where they're coming from. And it doesn't help that, like with many content aggregator type accounts on TikTok, sometimes these accounts disappear and reappear. Based on some of the account names, like Doyen House and Your Asian Home, and text on screen and spoken lines in the videos, we can deduce that a vast majority of these videos come from China. Doyen is basically Chinese TikTok. We did find out a little bit more about where exactly these videos come from and the greater trend of why they might be being made, but I'll save that for a bit later on in the video. But in our quest to figure out how to actually get some of these gadgets, thankfully, at least a few of these accounts did have storefronts that they linked to that had some of these products. Some of them don't and seem just to be posting this type of content for the views, since it's a pretty popular genre, but we were directed through the accounts Smart Home Gadgets and Smart Home Toy Beta to the websites You Like Fit and Smart Home 999, which did seem to offer a fair amount of the gadgets we had seen. So that was a place to start, at least. And when deciding which products to actually get and test, from the basically hundreds of gadgets featured in these videos, we did try and take stock of which products showed up the most. Now, not all of these gadgets are just cleaning products. There are a fair amount of them that are like professional organization items, like shoe racks, lazy Susans, and grain organizers, some that are smart decor, like the Bluetooth charging bedside table, and some that are cooking gadgets, like self-cooking pots and steaming towers. But I've always felt that the cleaning products were the real foundation of this smart home genre, so we focused on those. And the first product we ended up pursuing was this blue light water sprayer cleaner thing. That's what we're calling it for now. Now, this genre of light cleaning products is very popular. A common one is what looks like a UV sanitizing utensil holder, and there's also this like illuminated contact lens cleaner case, but this just general blue light sprayer thingy is featured a lot across these videos, seemingly as a way to rapidly disinfect things and yourself, and pets, and maybe a chicken. I definitely understand the principle of like wanting to be clean inside of your house, but I've never seen a like disinfecting gun before, so I was interested to try it out. And we did find a listing for what looked like one of these sprayer guns on the site Smart Home 999. Now, though Smart Home 999 is kind of a nice and clean looking website, it does have some questionable internet retailer red flags. You've got a lot of pretty big sales going on, there are absolutely no reviews, and this flame humidifier and aroma diffuser is a pretty notoriously drop-shipped product, as I bought one from a TikTok ad like 2 years ago, and it's definitely not worth $40. So although I would say that the items on this site do not seem suspiciously cheap, they may just be inflating the prices. So though I would say to you, proceed with caution, for the purposes of this video, it's full steam ahead. So we went for the portable electric ULV sprayer with blue light steam cleaner gun for $32.99, which apparently is supposed to come with nano atomization disinfection technology and 6 blue bacteriostatic lamps, which sounds pretty good. So with that on the way, on to product number 2. Now for our next product, we kind of had to get this smoking/bubbling produce cleaner. This is an extremely popular product across all of the videos that I've seen. It's an almost inexplicable device that you throw in with fruits and vegetables and also live crabs and oysters, I think to disinfect them as they soak. This isn't necessarily a whole family of products, though there are some smoking eye eyeglass cleaners we've seen, but this specific product is so heavily featured and it jumps out to viewers so much, as you can see by these commenters who are pretty mystified by it, that it felt like we had to try it out. It's also a good intersection of cleaning gadget and cooking gadget. You're still cleaning, but it's for food. And there are a couple of different models of this item, but we were drawn to the one that looks like a Bluetooth speaker. And we were able to find a listing for what looked like it, a fruit and vegetable cleaning machine, on Smart Home 999 for $75.99, which is pretty expensive, especially for a gadget that remains a complete mystery to me, but we are gonna try and figure it out. For now, I was happy to see that it says it does not destroy food taste and nutrition, which is always a good thing in my book. So with this item added to the haul, next up is the collapsible mini washing machine. Now there are a lot of collapsible items featured in these videos. Besides shelves and racks that kind of like unfurl and stack, there's also specifically a number of collapsible mops and buckets and collapsible foot baths. And a hugely popular item in these videos is this collapsible mini washing machine. They love this thing. It's almost comedic, like as their mother-in-law is ascending the stairs, or as their long-term crush is outside waiting for them, they pull out this machine and start washing some socks. But honestly, I do kind of see the appeal. Like, there are plenty of small apartments out there that don't have laundry machines in unit, and if this thing works, it could buy you some time between laundromat visits. So I'm gonna try it. And we did find a listing for one on the website You Like Fit. Now, compared to Smart Home 999, You Like Fit's graphic design and website layout is a little more AliExpress-ish, a little less sleek and clean, a little more throwing everything at ya. It does also have a wide-sweeping super sale across the entire website, which is a little questionable, and a variation on the fake fire humidifier for sale. This is a volcano humidifier, which is a red flag for me. So once again, I'd proceed with caution. But for us, we're diving right in. So we picked up the portable foldable washing machine with spin dryer automatic mini underwear sock washing machine with centrifuge for $65.99. The reviews on this product do seem pretty positive, and they do also note that you could take this on a business trip, so I'm excited. I was also hoping to pick up this crazy inflatable drying bag, but after looking for a while, we couldn't find it anywhere. So our final product is a little bit of a wild card because it itself doesn't appear that often in these videos, but there are a lot of mops, brooms, and mini vacuums, and a fair amount of smart or automatic products, like self-bagging trash cans and self-stirring mugs. So we felt like this one could be a good pick. This is the Smart Window Cleaner. It is only touched upon very briefly, so I couldn't get a huge sense of its capabilities from what we saw, but I assume it's kind of like a Roomba, but for your window. And to be honest, guys, I just really wanted to try this thing. I mean, it's pictured here being left to clean this presumably high-up window with a beautiful view all on its own, which seems like a big job. So in order to find this product, we actually did a reverse Google image search using a screenshot from this video, and we're able to find what we think is the same product on German Amazon. This is the Easy Clean Hobot 388 windscreen washer, and it is the most expensive item in this video by quite a lot, at 400 euros. And thankfully, we were able to get it, despite what the screen recording implies. So here's to hoping it doesn't fall off our window and kill someone, because that would be bad. So with that, we have our 4 TikTok viral cleaning products, or the closest things to them that we could find, which I think altogether touch on most of the types of products that you see in these videos, plus one smart window Roomba. So the next time you see me, I'll have my haul.
All right, so many TikToks watched and items reverse image searched later. We have our haul, people. We have 4 TikTok viral cleaning products here to test, to try, and to see what's up. There's also a secret one back here in case we have time. If not, you'll never see it again.
It was cleaning slime and it exploded in the mail. But the first product we're going to be unboxing
is the Hobot window cleaner.
Now, as you guys remember, this was our most expensive item by far.
Oh, this bodes well.
And also our largest and heaviest package that arrived.
The electronics test. Heavy equals quality.
And even though we ordered it via German Amazon, it only took about 2 weeks to get to us.
Oh, that's pretty sizable. This is as big as my head.
Now, the instructions that it came with were completely in French.
All right, we got some Google Translate happening.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can understand these instructions. For windows without a balcony, a warning zone must be provided on the floor to prevent people from approaching it. Oh yeah, they do think it's dangerous.
Minus the potential peril to passerby, it seems that you operate the Hobot through an app, and you do have to charge it for about 24 hours before it's ready to go. So I guess we're gonna have to wait for a while before we can see how smart it truly is. Is it more window Roomba or window Ken?
I'm not sure this has any thoughts.
Yeah, no.
No thoughts.
All looks, no thoughts.
It's a himbo.
It's a himbot.
So 24 hours later, we were all charged up, downloaded, and ready to go. And after breathing life into our Hobot,
Oh! Ah! Lift off.
That's flying like a drone?
and also giving him a name,
What should we call him?
Hobot.
Hobart? Oh, that's cute. He's like Robert, but a hoe.
we needed to design a test for him to see what his cleaning prowess really was. So we decided to dirty up our balcony window with some washable paint to see what he could do.
Okay, there you go.
It looks like something I want to get rid of. I agree with that.
Now we do have a balcony, which means we probably have less of a need for a Hobot in the first place, but it also means that we thankfully don't need to worry about Hobot falling off the window and dropping onto people. That being said, there is a safety carabiner and cable, so it does have a few precautionary features. Then you just need to add some cleaning liquid onto Hobot's pads before you place him on the window and let him do his thing.
And he should suck himself to the door.
He just sucked himself.
All right, let me go get my phone.
Okay.
Now, right off the bat, I think Hobot passed the first test of doing anything at all.
Is he going? Whoa! Hobart, my love. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's walking.
He's alive.
As he did successfully cling to the window and navigate up and down it by himself.
Oh my God, look at him.
From what we can tell, he isn't quite as smart as a Roomba, as it seems like he doesn't sense where the dirt is, but rather has a set path that he wants to clean on. And if he encounters the edge of the window, he just goes back the other way.
Oh, I saw a squirt. He did a squirt. Did you see that?
He squirted?
He's like a squid.
And even though the app does have a directional control panel, he doesn't totally listen to it, but he does squirt on command.
Ready? Spray. Spray.
Unfortunately, on Hobot's first pass, he did sort of smear a fair amount of the paint around the window.
He thinks he's done. The answer is he's not.
So we gave him a fresh set of cleaning pads to see if he could do better in a round 2. I may have oversprayed him with the cleaning liquid here though, as he seemed to have a hard time getting traction.
Come on, Hobart. Is he treading water right now?
And actually almost slipped.
Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Which is probably one of the ways this thing could be dangerous.
He is pretty sopping wet. I didn't give him a shot in hell.
But after resetting him with a normal amount of cleaning liquid, Hobot did a pretty good job cleaning up the paint smearing mess.
Oh, he's doing better already.
He's zooming. Oh yeah, he's getting his top. He's getting his top.
Unfortunately, there were a few smudges near the edges of the window, and particularly one in the top left corner that Hobart seemed to want to ignore when left to his own devices.
Oh, he's not gonna get it.
So I lifted him up and put him right next to it.
Here he goes, here he goes.
Come on.
And then he finally got it.
Oh, pretty good. Oh! Okay, pretty
Go
good.
on, I'll take it.
I think it's pretty good. Nobody puts Hobot in the corner except me if I draw in the corner.
So is Hobot the smartest robot out there? No.
That'll do, bot. That'll do.
But I do have to say that the window now looks really clean, even if it took a second pass. So I'm decently happy with the Hobot.
Was it perfect? No. But did it clean this door automatically? Mostly yes.
Yeah.
There is always the worry that he's smarter than he's letting on,
Oh shit, he's trying to open the door.
He's trying to get in.
He's like a velociraptor.
but we'll just have to watch out for that.
All right. So next up, I have the ULV sprayer.
Now, this was our first product from Smart Home 999, and it did only take about 10 days for it to get here, but unfortunately for it and us,
I have to say right off the bat, it is a light package.
there were a few like drop-shipping-y red flags.
That's never a good sign when it's the cardboard box with the outline.
And there he is with absolutely no fanfare. Not a piece of tissue paper to be found.
There were no labels, no instructions, nothing at all in there besides the product itself, and a single universal charger.
That is a bad sign.
That's the Wish signature. It's like Zorro Z, right?
But the product did at least turn on.
Just firing off some warning shots.
Cleaning the hall taco.
So that's one box already checked. And now that it's on, we can see if this thing is just like a placebo light that just looks cool, or if it actually does disinfect anything at all. Because right now, I'm not so sure.
Regardless of whether the answer is yes or no, I will be spraying everything in this house.
And after filling the sprayer bottle up with some distilled water, I was ready to roll.
I'm locked and loaded, baby.
Oh! Did you spray me?
And can confirm that the spraying function does seem to work pretty well too.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, it is spraying. My hand is wet. I think from a little further away, it's a little finer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's misting. This is the maiden of the mist. I am the maiden of the mist.
Niagara Falls.
And just for good measure,
Hold on, before we do anything.
I did do like they do in the videos and hosed myself down.
This is how you do it, right? I'm clean. It's wet over here.
You're so
It's wet over here. The floor is wet.
And I did also spray Tyler in the face a couple of times.
We're soaked.
Although it turns out that looking straight into the blue lights is not really advised, so maybe don't try spraying people in the face with it.
All right, let's do some tests. Can confirm water erupts. Can confirm light is on. The question is, does that matter?
So in order to see if this thing did anything at all, we decided to set up a petri dish bacteria test on a nearby door handle. This is one that adjoins our parking garage, so there are quite a few hands that touch it regularly that could have germs on them.
Oh yeah, look at that curve. People be touching this curve, man.
With the idea that we would create 3 petri dishes, one with a swab of the uncleansed door handle, germed from normal daily use, then one with a swab from the door handle after spraying it with our blue light sprayer.
What do you think?
Pretty sprayed.
Pretty sprayed.
This did obviously make the handle a bit wet, so we had to wait for it to dry before swabbing it and putting our specimen on the after dish. Then we did one dish with a control swab from the door handle after cleansing it with a Clorox wipe,
It's supposed to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria, people.
which I feel like represents a pretty normal level of household disinfecting. And after swabbing all of our swabs on our 3 petri dishes, we stuck them in this special incubator, which is supposed to help grow whatever bacteria has been collected on the petri dishes over the next 5 days.
Ta-da! It's just me and my tiny humidifying cabinet, just hanging out, growing mold.
So we can see roughly how much bacteria was collected after each treatment. Now, how this ULV spraying machine is actually supposed to work is kind of threefold. First off, ULV refers to the ultra-low volume fog that the sprayer emits, which is a very fine mist that is meant to be able to spread, cover, and disinfect every inch of a specific area. Second, after looking into it a bit, it does seem that people think that blue light at certain wavelengths can kill bacteria. And the third fold is where we may have messed up a bit. Because based on this part of the original listing, and the fact that these sprayers were sprayed so liberally on people, on pets, on this chicken, we assumed that the liquid inside was just water. But after asking Tyler's mom to help translate this text on the actual box itself, and finding a few similar products on the Western market, it seems that they might want you to fill the bottle up with some kind of disinfectant, which would make this just a disinfectant sprayer, which probably should work. But surprisingly enough, we were actually able to get a decent result just using blue light and water.
I see a little something there, and I see a lack of something there.
As you can see, here are the before spray, after spray, and control swabs of our Petri dish test. And we were able to replicate the results on a different handle. So it kinda seemed to work for us, but it probably would work even better with some disinfectant inside. I probably would still lean towards getting a more legit version, seeing how this one arrived, and for my purposes, I'm gonna stick with water for now, just so I can keep spraying Tyler in the face with it, as long as he keeps his eyes closed.
All right, so next up I have the vegetable cleaner.
Now this fruit and vegetable cleaning machine once again came from Smart Home 999 and took about 2 weeks to arrive.
Let me in.
Okay.
Ta-da! It's the DL001 purifier, people. Don Lim.
And thankfully, right off the bat, it felt much more substantial than the ULV sprayer. The box was bigger, with some serious branding on it, it came with a whole set of instructions, and the device itself came out looking almost exactly like what it looked like in the videos.
It does have a little heft to it.
Good.
So it feels like there's something in there.
Okay, what's inside it?
That.
It does have some weird coils going on the inside.
It's kind of giving Atlantis. right?
But after translating the instructions, they don't really elaborate further on how it's supposed to work, and rather just basically say to charge your Dawn limb and then stick it in some water with some fruits or vegetables. We chose strawberries because I was hungry.
You mess with the Dawn in the morning, you sleep with the strawberries in the afternoon, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Now, this device is obviously supposed to clean and disinfect whatever you put it in water with, introducing this cast of beautiful berries.
Strawberries are going for a swim. It's a witch! It's a witch!
And when we dropped in our Dawn limb,
All right, this is how they do it. You press it, it's on, it goes in.
Oh!
Shit.
it did immediately start bubbling and smoking, just like in the videos. So visually, it was doing something.
Dude, it is releasing a mystery mist. It is releasing a mystery mist.
But trying to figure out how it was supposed to be cleaning was a little more difficult. So bear with me here as I attempt to explain some chemistry, as I have not taken a chemistry class since 2009. So this thing claims that it cleanses items through a process of electrolysis, which roughly means when you break down water molecules using electricity. One of the byproducts of this process is OH negative, aka negatively charged hydroxyl ions, which are then supposed to cling onto and help break down bacteria, pesticides, and other impurities.
It's done. It stopped misting. I think that's it.
Now, it is also hard to figure out how to test if that's true or not. For this first round, we couldn't say for sure if the strawberries were any cleaner by just looking at them
They look a little cleaner, but it could just be water.
or tasting them.
It's good.
Yeah.
Do I taste less pesticides?
It has less of that trademark Monsanto flavor. Oh, I guess they sue hard, don't they?
But we did figure out another method to test out the Dawn. So we found this video online where someone was using these pesticide detecting strips to try and see if a similar device to ours did anything. So we attempted to recreate his experiment using our Dawn limb. From our initial testing, these pesticide strips are kind of finicky. We had a hard time proving consistently that before cleaning, our veggies had pesticides on them to start. So in order to make this as pure of an experiment as we could, we decided to buy an over-the-counter pesticide from Lowe's and spray a head of lettuce ourselves. And after spraying and letting the lettuce dry, the strips did confirm that this lettuce had pesticides on it.
Can confirm we put pesticides on there.
So now it was time to see if we could get them off. For this, we tried 3 methods of cleaning our lettuce. First was just a normal rinse underwater. For context, this is what I normally do. Second was a control, like our Clorox wipe. This veggie wash is supposed to help remove pesticides, dirt, and wax from your fruits and veggies, but I've never tried it before, so I guess we'll see. And third was our Dawn limb, who took a little bath with our lettuce, followed by a little agitation and rinse. And after all of our lettuce slivers were swiped on the strips, our results were that, surprisingly, all 3 methods did remove some pesticides. It looks like rinsing with just water did remove a fair amount, but potentially not all, as the blue mark here is a little less strong.
Yeah, kind of blue.
But the veggie wash and the Dawn limb strips seem to be quite clean, as their blue dots were very pigmented.
That's blue, baby!
I would say these 2 results are pretty similar. I think the Dawn limb strip may just have been wetter. Now, obviously, this is just one test, so we can't say for sure that this thing is just like a miracle pesticide remover. We did do a silly extra test where we just let the Dawn limb soak with some lettuce and compared it to lettuce just soaking by itself to see if the water left behind would look any different afterwards. And the Dawn limb water did look ever so slightly foggier.
Honestly, it looks a little foggier.
It does look a little foggier, honestly.
But not way dirtier or anything like that. So it's not like it cleaned off way more debris than just soaking. So I think our results are that the Dawn limb does seem to clean and remove some pesticides from at least lettuce, but so does this veggie wash, and to a certain degree, so does just using water. So is it magic? No. But it does seem to do something.
All right, and then next up is the collapsible laundry unit thing.
Now, our portable foldable washing machine came from You Like Fit, and it also took about 2 weeks to arrive.
The packaging says AliExpress,
Yeah, classic demon pants.
but my heart says there's some promise here.
The box itself was big and semi-branded.
Oh, it's not just an unmarked cardboard box.
There were a fair amount of graphics and text on there, so it wasn't totally nondescript, but no company name. So that's always a bit of an eyebrow raiser. But I was holding out hope that this thing would be good.
Oh, there are suction cups on the bottom.
Because honestly, I see a lot of potential.
It's getting tall.
Ta-da! It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Time to take it to the kitchen and try and use it.
Oh my God, I just hit myself in the face. All right, Should we go?
So to test this bad boy out, we decided to purposefully dirty a couple of shirts and then wash one in our mini machine and one in our actual washing machine.
This is like the Tide commercial thing, right?
Yes.
Like, here's the grass stain.
Yeah.
So I started off with some sprays of ketchup.
Imagine this. You're eating a fry. Things go south. Ah! It's traveling down my chest.
You're speaking my language.
Ah! My name's Tyler Williams. I can't eat a single fry without this happening to me.
Followed by a smattering of washable paint.
They love that in those commercials. The kid just hand printing the mom.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
This is pretty good.
And then finally, I added on some handfuls of dirt.
This is a new medium for me. Let me see, how do I work with this medium?
Now, to give them a fighting chance, I did also add a little stain treatment to the shirts, but I did make sure to add equal amounts to keep it a fair test. And shirt A then entered our apartment washing machine on normal,
And in.
and shirt B entered our mini foldable guy.
Ready? Yeah. Cheers. In she goes.
And after just a teeny bit of detergent, we turned it on to a 10-minute standard washing cycle.
There it goes.
Oh my God.
And right away, this thing started buzzing, creating a sudsy mini whirlpool.
Oh my God.
I believe.
Okay, it has turned on. Something is happening. It sounds like it's working hard.
Now, clearly the pros of this machine are that it is very portable and convenient, and that the cycles are pretty quick. The cons that I can see are obviously the size. It does actually even say on the website that this thing can only fit 1 baby towel, 8 pairs of underwear, or 2 mom shirts in it. And the other con that I can see is that there's no rinse cycle. As after the cycle was done and we drained out the water from the machine, the inside was still pretty soapy.
Somewhere in there is our shirt.
I'm not sure if they expect you to do a whole nother cycle with just water, so I just rinsed out the inside and the shirt a bit.
The shirt may be slightly sudsy still, but I don't know what really can be done about that.
And then it was time for the drying cycle, or sorry, the semi-dehydration cycle, which happens in this little salad spinner thing.
Okay, all right, that's it.
That's semi-dehydration?
And is code for a lot of intense spinning that really puts the machine's suction cups to the test.
What is this? The car from Titanic?
It is coincidental.
Now there's no heat with this process, so it's not really drying anything, but it seems like a decent way to get some of the water out without damaging the clothes.
All right, there we go. It is done.
And moment of truth, though our test shirt was still quite damp,
Okay, honestly, things are looking okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Unfurl.
it did look pretty clean.
How is it?
Whoa!
I see a vague hint of pink in sort of the bottom left quadrant, but overall, not too shabby.
This is what our control shirt looked like after coming out of the real washing machine.
Ta-da!
And honestly, I thought they looked pretty comparable. The stains may not have had a ton of time to really set before we washed them, but they both looked pretty clean.
It's about the same. About.
Here's what they look like after drying. I did put the control shirt in the actual dryer, so please ignore the fact that it definitely shrunk. But in terms of the stains, not too bad. So overall, this thing isn't perfect, and I can't say for sure if it's the most legit, best quality mini washing machine around, but
I think that you gotta say that worked pretty well.
So here's to the mini washing machine. It can fit 8 underwears or 2 mom shirts. Now, I did promise that I'd share some more of our findings with you that we discovered as we explored this genre. As we went through all of the videos that we had screen recorded and took stock of all of the accounts that those videos came from, we did find a fair amount of identically repeated shots, both of products like the grain organizer or contact lens cleaner, and also of plot points like these shots of the mother-in-law getting out of her car and even getting into the apartment are identically repeated, even though the shots in between are completely different. Which points to this idea that many of these accounts are ripping clips from the same source and piecing them together to make the content they post. And though we weren't able to find the source of all of these clips, we were able to find some evidence of some of the less absurd, more vlog-style videos we found being ripped from Douyin, aka Chinese TikTok, like this video that features the Hobot and these creators and their apartments. And though I won't claim that we were able to verify a ton on Douyin, like we couldn't find any of those mother-in-law is approaching, it's it's snowing in the hallway type videos, it does seem that smart home gadget satisfying cleaning vlogs are a pretty popular genre on Douyin. And beyond just being satisfying to watch, it is also worth noting that smart home appliances in general have become a huge trend in China over the past few years. Partially accelerated by COVID, China has become the world's largest consumption market for smart home devices, with home appliance expos being held to show off the latest products and government departments issuing guidelines on accelerating the development of digital homes, which could have led to the creation of these gadgets and the rise in popularity of these immersive cleaning or home optimizing vlogs in general. Now, as for my experience trying to buy some of these items and try them out, I definitely did get a kick out of some of them, but it's almost impossible for me to figure out if the products I ended up buying are the realest or most high-quality versions of these smart devices that exist. Obviously, we did receive the items we ordered, and they all did function on some level, so they weren't scams, but I have no real idea who the sellers are, the conditions under which the items were made, and what the long-term quality of the items will be. In fact, we actually read that a lot of consumers in China actually prefer to buy their smart home gadgets in-store, in person, so the likelihood that I got the right ones is pretty low. So though I did have fun, I probably won't be buying any more of these gadgets online. And this is actually bad news for me, because Tyler's parents are visiting this weekend, so my mother-in-law is fast approaching, and I have no way of cleaning up all these f***ing sunflower seeds. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to shamash that like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to shamash that subscribe button. Here are our short form / social media handles, and here's our merch website. And with that, I will see you guys next time.